No matter what we have ever thought to the contrary, all of our thoughts, all of our emotions, all of our sensations, all of our actions are like pure space. And in being like pure space, they are completely relaxed and at ease. If we take anything else to be the case about any thought, emotion, sensation, or action, it will be the case. So whatever we focus on, that is what we realize. When a point of view appears, whatever we take it to be, that is what it is. When a point of view appears within the pure view of awareness as the dynamic energy of that awareness, all we are is pure awareness as that point of view. And if we take that point of view only to be its descriptive label, then we'll live a whole life inside a dictionary. We'll live a whole life inside a dictionary, just running from descriptive label to descriptive label, trying to put together the meaning of life. This is only a convention, my friends. It's only a convention. It's just something that has been made up along the way. But it isn't the essence of who we are. We are not, as humankind, destined to live within a dictionary, leapfrogging from word to word to try to figure out who we are and figure out what life is. All the while, the essence of every single word in the dictionary, the essence that is the reality that no word has an origin, no point of view has an origin independent of awakened awareness. So the ultimate meaning of every word in the dictionary is awakened awareness. And if we realize through relaxing as the essence of our being that that is the case with anything that appears, then we have complete freedom. We know that complete freedom that is us. It is us. It's not something separate from us. It always is us. All we are is self-knowing awareness. And when self-knowing awareness takes itself to be a bunch of descriptive labels or points of view, that'll be what it is. So, it's every thought, just think of the worst emotional state you've ever been in. But try to just really fantasize a heavy-duty emotional state, an emotional reality that really had you in its grips. And then just relax as the space of that, the pure space of that emotional state. See, if a big emotional state, lots of upset comes up, and because we've always heard it described as being something important, being something that we have to place a lot of emphasis on, significance in, and take to be important, then we will. We'll take it to be that way. I'm angry, and I'm angry because that political leader isn't doing what I want. And so I'm going to spend my whole day talking about how worthless that political leader is. So, in this foment of emotional state, we take all the different parts of it, the proliferation of all the initial points of view, we take those to be real, and then we end up very upset, only because we have no knowledge, many of us, that the essence of all those perceptions is awakened awareness. It's like pure space. And just like the pure space of the vast expanse, no matter what happens within that pure space, it's still pure space. Volcanoes can erupt. Nuclear missiles can go off. All kinds of things can happen on Earth, all over the Earth, not only with human beings, but with the environment and everything all together. The other parts of the animal kingdom, all the insects and other critters, all kinds of things can occur, but pure space is never affected by any of it. And all these things that occur, they're the dynamic energy of pure space. So they're inseparable from pure space. If we look into any of these things that appear within pure space, nuclear missiles, volcanoes, emotional states that seem like nuclear missiles and volcanoes, no matter what we look at, if we look into their essence, they're empty appearances that leave no trace, like the flight path of a bird in the sky. So no matter what appears, there's no way to hold on to it. There's absolutely no way to hold on to it. Test this for yourself. Just know that you are awareness. Watch a perception arise as that awareness that you are. And there will be no way for you to hang on to it. No possible way. It's impossible. No matter how much you want to hang on to a perception, whether it's delicious or it's totally painful, you will be unable to do so. It's impossible, because all of these appearances, no matter what they are, they're fleeting. They vanish naturally in and of themselves, like a line drawn in water. It's impossible to hold a line drawn in water in place. We can say, I'm going to draw a line in water and it's going to stay there, but it won't. We'll draw the line in water, and as we draw it, it'll simultaneously appear, abide, and vanish. Simultaneously, instantaneously, all three. So in essence, it has no origin, duration, or sensation, and all points of view are like this. If we look into any point of view, we can see this very directly. We can look into the point of view of being somebody, of being a personal identity. We can really try to get to the bottom of that. We can try to find out where the essence of the person we call me is. But no matter where we look in the human body, we'll never be able to find a location or a dwelling place for that personal identity. Anything that we might arrive at would be an assumption. Today, in the area of scientific materialism, it's said, well, the location of the personal identity is in the brain. But has anyone ever been able to find where in the brain I is located or a personal identity is located? No. There are just a bunch of descriptions about neurotransmitters and the nervous system of the body and how it all comes together. But all of these, they're not really it. You know, they don't really say what it is that makes us who we are. If we want to know who we are, we have to know our own awareness. Our awareness is the baseline. Awareness is the underlying source, foundation, condition, the unborn birth of everything that never was. So this is the reality of what we are. We can't philosophize our way into it. We can't philosophize our way into what is not two through dualistic perceptions. So no matter how much we think about our non-dual perspective that is our birthright, we can never twist our way into that through some kind of game of the intellect. It's impossible. The only way to know who we are is to rest in a totally uncontrived way, just to allow that ease of our being. And that rest doesn't mean any particular thing. It's just whatever gives you ease, that's what it is. Whatever gives you ease in the immediacy of every perception. And first we notice that in one perception, many perceptions are freed. And then soon, we're not even trying to be free in perceptions. We're just naturally at rest all the time without trying to do so. And why is this so direct and easy? Because it's our natural state. It's our natural state. It's not something separate from us, and it never has been. It's never been in any kind of category other than being human. If we make a pretense of putting it in a category, we can go ahead and do that, but it can never be categorized, you see, because it's the essence of everything. So it's beyond all categories. It's beyond anything. Who we are is beyond anything that can be described as a cause leading to an effect, or anything that occurs within time and space. We're totally beyond time and space. That's the true nature of our being. We can't solve any of our personal problems from cause and effect, or our problems of humankind, because we're limiting ourselves to the thinking that created the problem. And the thinking that created the problem will never solve the problem. Do you understand what I'm saying? The thinking that created the problem is vast, like infinite space. And unless we know that to be ourselves, then we never see the solutions that are beyond cause and effect. For most of us, it's a stretch to consider that we might be beyond cause and effect. That's really a stretch. You know, we don't know how that would be possible when we've taken ourselves to be bound by time and space, cause and effect. But first of all, we have to know and acknowledge about ourselves and others that we are pure like space. We're originally pure. Every single thought, every single emotion, every single action, no matter what it is, has the fundamental purity of awakened awareness as its essence, as its basic space. And that sun of awareness outshines every point of view. Now, I just say points of view to mean anything that can be intuited, thought, felt, sensed, all of these things. They're all points of view. So the sun of awareness is the basic space of all points of view, and it always outshines the descriptive label of every point of view. And in that outshining of the descriptive label of every point of view, all points of view are known in their multiplicity. So everything about every point of view is known. I'm not talking about being disembodied or detached from point of view. I'm talking about living as the heart essence of every point of view that's inseparable from point of view. Because you see, this awareness and points of view are not two. They're not two. We're not trying to get rid of points of view and be awareness. We're living as awareness that is the essence of every point of view. Living as the sun of awareness that outshines every point of view, that knows things in their sublime reality as well as in the mundane, the particularity of the mundane. So, you know, we as human beings, we need to come to terms with this. Not only for ourselves, the least we can do is to do it for ourselves. But as we do so for ourselves, we find something truly amazing. When we really get in touch with our own nature that is like pure space, awakened awareness, we feel a warmth within us, a warmth of compassion, wisdom, and love. When we realize all our own points of view, whether they're positive, negative, or neutral, to be pure like space, then we know that about everyone. We know that there's never been anything wrong with anyone. You know, there's always only love. So then, instead of penalizing failure and lack of perfection like we do with ourselves and with others, especially in the West, then we see that there's nothing wrong with anyone. If there appears to be something wrong or going askew, it just means that someone needs to be loved and supported in being the reality of what they are. But this culture of disrespect that many have fallen into, this war of the dualistic perspective where one person is right and another person is wrong. It's very painful. It's very painful when we make ourselves wrong, when we take ourselves to be all the words in the dictionary and we can't see that we are this pristine reality of natural rest. We're constantly making ourselves wrong. We're constantly seeing ourselves as imperfect. We're looking at all our negative points of view and saying, I can never get enlightened. I have too many negative points of view. I've done too many negative things. I've failed repeatedly. I couldn't possibly be enlightened. Only great beings who are pure as the driven snow can be enlightened. So, we may seek for decades for freedom from point of view and persist in having all these negative points of view whereby we take ourselves to be someone incomplete, imperfect, can't possibly be enlightened. But, if we're looking for evidence of our enlightenment, or lack of evidence of our enlightenment in our points of view, we're never going to find it there. The only way we find it there is when we realize that points of view and awareness are not two. So if we take the evidence of our lack of enlightenment to be our negative points of view, whether they're emotional states, thoughts, actions from the past, actions right now, we'll never be able to know who we are, because awareness, pure like infinite space, is an expanse of equalness. It's an expanse of equalness and evenness in which there's never been division of any kind. There's never been a split into positive, negative, and neutral. So when we come to terms with this about ourselves, the negative things that we feel, about ourselves and others, they're a place of complete release. Until we can integrate all those as pure awareness, we can never know ourselves to be as we really are. We have to stop beating ourselves up, stop making ourselves wrong, and enjoy the pristine reality that is the immediacy of everything we think, see, feel, perceive, conceive, even those things that can't be perceived and conceived. All these what we must know as pure like space. Awakened awareness, pure like space. And instead of taking ourselves to be a little clot of mind that includes all these points of view that are somehow personal to us, know that your mind is already released as infinite space. There's never been a thing called a mind that exists independent of awareness. The basis of mind is awareness. When we take ourselves to be points of view, then our mind seems teeny, tiny, and constantly focused on all the points of view related to a self and a personal identity. But when we start to relax, we realize more and more that our mind is vast like infinite space. And instead of being full of thoughts about personal comfort and benefiting ourselves, we take care of ourselves, yes, but most of our thoughts and emotional states and actions, the activities of our life, are for the benefit of the whole. This is our natural state. Our natural state is that all of our actions, all of our thoughts, all of our emotions are naturally, always and forever, for the benefit of the whole. This is our natural state. And this we can only know by knowing ourselves as pure space. You see, there's no awakening that's separate or apart from this ultimate compassion, this ultimate love, this ultimate wisdom. Freedom from mental concepts is not awakening. Freedom from mental concepts alone is not awakening. It's not, and it never has been. Completely perfect enlightenment is inseparable from compassion and wisdom. And it's natural resource, and this is the greatest natural resource that humankind has, is emanation of benefit for the whole. So, we need this. We need this more than ever right now in human history. This impeccable reality of what we are has enormous potency to solve all the things that seem insoluble, whether it's within us, within our family, within our community, or within our world. And the starting point of this is that we must know always, even when doubt comes up, we must remain staunch in knowing, in our sublime knowing, that we already are awakened awareness, that it's already accomplished. It's not a destination. It's not something to get to or achieve. We already are who we are. No one can give it to us, take it away from us, confirm it for us, tell us how we're doing with it, or anything else. We know. We know. We're already completely at ease, like pure space.